The mistake a lot of people make, I personally say, is after the rice is cooked and you strain it, they cool it under cold water. I really do not recommend it. The beauty about the basmati rice, what is the aroma. So what I recommend is to strain the rice when it's cooked and then spread it widely, okay, on a tray with parchment paper and let it cool down in your fridge. Do not cool it down with cold water. It changes the composition. It takes all the beautiful flavor the basmati rice has on it. Try to keep it as fresh as possible. The next thing we did is cooking a lentil. Lentil, very simple, okay? We bring the lentil in cold water together. There are two schools of thought here you can do. We can soak the lentil the night before if you want, okay? And then the next day, you bring it to the pot of water, you bring it to a boil, you cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes. And again, what I'm looking for here, and I'm looking for a bit of texture, okay? See, they're cooked, but they're not completely overdone, okay? We need to make sure we keep all the nutrients. Couple of tips that I can give you when you actually are cooking lentil, when you're cooking beans. One of the things I normally do, and this is not in the recipe, but for your own thought, I put a pot of water, and I flavor my pot of water sometimes with a clove of garlic, one piece of celery, one carrot, without cutting them, okay? And then you can flavor with some peppercorn if you want it. I put my lentil and I bring it to a boil, okay? Once the lentil are cooked, I keep that liquid, I remove the lentil, spread them on a tray, let them cool down exactly the same way down with the rice on the fridge, and I keep all the liquid. And that's what I've done here, okay? Basically, it's a vegetable stock and it's phenomenal. So when we're gonna make this lentil dish, okay, we might need a little bit of liquid in it, okay? Because it's not gonna be a soup, it's gonna be a little bit more thick, okay? Because when we're gonna build it, we're gonna cook all the vegetables, we're gonna show you how we're gonna use absolutely everything of this broccoli. Because the best part of the broccoli, I mean, people like this. My favorite part is actually this one, this time.
So I've seen a lot of people have signed on here, and so I just wanted to go over again quickly. We're doing a lentil dish today. The recipe is in the profile link. It's at Passion's Cooking, and it's called Lentil Dish. And we're going to be cooking it today, so hopefully those of you that have downloaded in advance, we're going to be doing it next Sunday for Mother's Day as well. So you'll be excited to see that. Ask any questions, and we'll answer them hopefully in the comments, and if not, we'll end up doing it later. And we will have also a link to the basic knife skills video that we are offering as well. So sorry for interrupting.
No, not interrupted. That's what
I just see tons of people that are coming in, so I just wanted to make sure.
We want to make sure that we answer every single question you guys want. Okay, so let's start with so we cook a rice, we cook a lentil, okay? When the rice and lentil are cool, we let them
cool. So someone here from Holland going, Prost.
Prost. Okay.
Where's your one?
And I want to show you how quickly the ingredients are. So if you guys have the recipe in front of you, okay, we're just quickly going to go through together, okay? So I got all the ingredients here. So I got some natural coconut milk, okay? I got some passata di pomodoro or tomato, plum tomato. Just make sure you squeeze it with your hand. Don't chop it with a knife. Just with your hand, you can break it down. And some yellow Thai curry paste, okay? Which it's phenomenal. You can find in any single store, okay? You can put some Thai chili spices if you want it. I like this one because it gives you a little bit more creaminess. What you can do with this one, if you wish, you can put some ginger if you want. You can put some lemongrass. You can put some lime leaf, anything you want. But I really want to make sure that I keep it simple because a lot of those flavors are trapped into this Thai curry paste, okay? So the next thing we have here is some kale, okay? So I got some beautiful kale here, and I washed it properly because there is a lot of sand into the kale. And this one, it's gonna be kind of a different because what we're gonna do, we're gonna cook some of the kale at the beginning, okay? And some we're gonna have it at the end of it because we wanna make sure we keep the crispiness, the freshness of the kale. And of course, the broccoli, right? Am I missing anything? I got everything? Yes?
I think so.
Okay, good. I'm always checking with my boss because sometimes, you know. So let's talk about broccoli here quickly. So this is a beautiful broccoli, and I want to show you something. So what the recipe say to keep the floret. And the floret, I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to quickly take the flower off the stem.
Boudicole.
Boudicole?
Okay. Boudicole was cabbage.
No, this one is broccoli. It's from the cabbage family, yeah.
Unless it's another language that's similar, but boudicole was always cabbage from what I remember.
So look at this. So basically one of these little floret here of the broccoli here, we want to keep them really small. And again, we're going to do this one in stages. We want to make sure that we keep the freshness of the broccoli. So I'm going to cut them in small little floret, it's so-called. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Okay.
I always find it such a waste. Just
so
it looks nice to have little Christmas trees or little trees, but
if you ask my son, he hates this. So that's sometimes the way you can have your kids excited about eating it. So have a look at this. So we have a broccoli here that we're going to need for the soup. But this is actually the best part of it. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep all the stem here. There is a membrane here that is very tough and fibrous, okay? So what I like to do is with a paring knife, I'm quickly peeling the tough part over here. When you're having a crudité or vegetable dip point, this is my favorite thing to eat, okay? Even when I make a plate of pasta, what I actually use mainly is actually this part because it's got a little bit more flavor, it's got a little bit more freshness, and actually it's got almost that flavor of cabbage in it, okay? So I'm gonna peel it just like that. I wanna keep everything. I don't wanna throw nothing away because it's important that we keep all the nutrients.
I'm interested to see, so the boudicole, which I know is in Dutch is cabbage,
right?
She's saying is kale, so it must be another language. So I just
Oh,
asked.
really?
So we're learning more languages here, so it'll be interesting to find out.
So
oh, it is Dutch. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something.
is it Dutch?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We always know something.
I always thought it was because rode kool and boudicole was always. I'm thinking with the stumppot and everything that.
That's a good thing. I'll be in Italian. Broccoli.
It's an easy language.
Very much easier.
Thanks for signing in, Holland.
Okay, so.
And Bolos is also saying, loving it. This is awesome.
Good. So here's the broccoli. So we're going to start the first step of the soup, okay? So what I have an induction burner here. I have a nice heavy pot, okay? You want to make sure that whenever you're making a soup, a dish, or anything like, the utensils you're using are very, very important, okay? So here I have a pot. You can use cast iron pot, Dutch oven, or anything like that. In this case, because I'm not going to make that much, okay, I'm going to use a pot like that is very heavy bottom, okay? So it control better and also better for induction. My favorite pot, most of the time, is this one. We use this one all the time, okay? We have a selection of all this pot here that we use because they're heavy. It's good when you're making stew, when you're braising, when you're making soups, phenomenal, okay? So here we go. I'm going to start this thing. The beauty of cooking with induction. Okay? So what I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil because part of our Mediterranean lifestyle, olive oil is like a cure for me. Okay? And I'm not shy with it. I'm going to put quite a bit of it. And right now, what we're going to do, we basically are going to build our flavor, okay? On your recipe there is one thing that I did not put because it's an optional, okay? But I can't stay away from it, okay? So for the recipe we are using, okay, we're going to add 2 cloves of garlic. But watch what I'm doing. So I got the garlic. I'm going to cut them in half. And this is the part that you guys need to pay attention to. this little germ in the center, you know, people all the time suffer and they say, oh, I have major heartburn about garlic, because the germ is the part you need to remove.
So with this one, actually, it's a little bit more green on the top, so you can really tell, but sometimes you can't necessarily tell as much. But it's in the center of the actual garlic.
And it's really, it's the part sometimes that makes the garlic actually quite bitter, okay? So you want to make sure the pot is nice and hot, okay? So then what I'm going to do, I'm not going to chop the garlic.
Hi, Rita.
We got Rita.
Rita Cucini.
Oh, Rita. So we got the garlic, and I'm going to actually chop the garlic really, really, really fine, okay? Just like that, okay? We're just going to let it toast gently. Just remember one thing, whenever you do anything, you want to be gentle with your cooking. No high temperature. So you can really smell the garlic.
I guess that's going to be the next thing, when they can do videos where you can smell as well.
Smell-o-vision. So look.
Smell-o-vision.
So here we go. We got the heads of the broccoli here. Okay? And I'm going to keep them like that. I'm going to cut them in 4. And I don't want to cut them too small. Okay, guys? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them in pieces like that.
Rita says ciao.
Ciao. Okay? So the garlic nice and toasted. Make sure we do not burn the garlic. Okay?
Hi, Renee.
One more thing if you want. If this is, you know, and I'm always trying to be careful, and Anita always tell me, be nice, is...
It's the way to be.
Sometimes. I like to add, if you want, and if you have a beautiful chili at home, one Thai chili. And this is an option, okay? But I like to throw the little curveballs there.
I kind of like being behind the scenes.
You like that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put one Thai chili. I smashed it and I put them inside.
Rita says smell-it-vision. Good idea.
What is it?
Smell-it-vision. Smell-it-vision TV. And that's the one thing I always find difficult, because it always smells so delicious.
Okay, so we quickly let it toast it nicely. And we want to make sure that we're very careful what we do it. And then what we're going to start adding is the toughest part of the broccoli, okay? But this is what is going to give you the texture that you're looking for, right? So we're going to make sure that we cook it properly, and we want to toast it. Basically, we want the garlic and the broccoli to come together. But the most important part that we do, as every time you build in a soup, a sauce, or anything like that, is seasoning, okay? So I'm going to add a pinch of salt, and I'm going to add just a little bit of black pepper.
So again, if you have any questions, please throw them out there. I'm doing the tech part of things today, and Dario is doing the cooking. And we also put in the comment link a video on how to cut like a chef. And we've got the link there in the video for you to also...
You can smell it.
You're so Italian.
I'm so Italian.
All the senses.
That's an important part. So the garlic is just golden, okay? You can actually see it's just a little golden. Induction is telling me to behave, so I'm listening to induction here, okay? After that, what I'm going to start adding, I'm going to add half of my kale. But watch what I'm doing, okay? Because that's an important part. I do not want to cut my kale, but I want to break it with my hand, just like that. Little pieces like that. And it still got a bit of water, so it creates a little bit more steam. And it helps from the garlic not to burn.
My first thought is that pot would be too small for that portion.
Oh, God, no.
Once it starts cooking and hits that pot, it really reduces.
So here my next tip here quickly. So you see the garlic, the chilies, they're really coming together. The next thing I want to do is to cover it. We want to make sure we cover it because we want to make sure that everything is trapped in it, okay? And we don't let it evaporate. Also, we create steam. We do not burn that garlic because the garlic is really fundamental. It's the foundation of whatever we're going to do, okay? Very simple. This is so simple, it's not even funny. So you see 2 seconds, and my garlic and my kale is already being absorbed. So I'm gonna make sure I cook it properly.
I can't wait till next week when we do Mother's Day dinner. I still love this idea. Being able to watch your husband and children or whoever that is cook while you have a glass of wine, or you can enjoy some time in the other room while you enjoy our class for next Sunday at 5 o'clock.
It's always the easiest way of doing it. The best thing about this one that I love to do with this one, so this one, for example, is strictly vegetarian. You can put some chicken in it. You can put some fish. If you have some leftover fish, for example, salmon, you can actually flake some of the salmon and put them on the end of it. But now I'm smelling. All these aromas really coming together. But you see, I'm keeping all the vegetable. I want to make sure that I keep all that texture. The next thing I'm going to add half of the broccoli. Okay?
Why only half?
Because the other half we're going to put them after. Because we want to make sure we have texture after. Okay? So one is going to be...
So you have the two different kinds of consistency.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're going to cook that.
Like the fish idea.
Like the fish.
Yeah.
Like the fish. Yes. Brava.
Brava.
Okay? So now at this time, what we have to do is the building part. So remember, this one can be done as a soup. This one can be done as a dish. This one can be done as a vegetable side order. For example, if I do a fish on a barbecue, a fish on a plank, this one could be a sauce that I can do. A condiment that I can do for a fish. If I want to make a soup, I just want to make it a little more liquid, okay? But the best thing about stuff like that is always, always make sure that you make it the day before for the next day, okay?
Especially now, we need to make some extras and freeze them.
Exactly. Here we go.
We really have not been going to the grocery store that often. No. We've been utilizing a lot of things that we have in our fridge. We've been doing a lot of corporate classes as well, and a lot of them we've been able to use what we have on hand. So, which is important, which is very important. I mean, we want to make sure that we always stay ahead of the game. We want to make sure that we always help people to understand that simplicity is what makes incredible meal. My grandmother, and my family in Italy, they always make simple dishes, sometimes with bread and water, and maybe sometimes milk, okay? The simplicity is the best part. Okay, so now I'm gonna start building the flavor of my soup. So what I have here, I have some passata di pomodoro, okay? Or some tomato paste. And there's really a lot of tomato paste that you wouldn't recommend, and there's things to look out for with the proper tomato paste. What would you recommend?
Well, to me, for example, in this case, I would use a passata or plum tomato. The tomato paste, sometimes what happens is it's almost over-concentrated, okay? And if you cook it too much, it makes it bitter, okay? So, fresh tomato, make sure you take it out of the can, you break them down, and you make sure you do not overcook tomato. The next thing we're gonna add the Thai chili, the Thai curry spice.
But you always say that tomato is a fruit, and so if you overcook it, it makes it bitter, right?
The biggest thing and this is sometimes people are gonna look at me, they're gonna say, oh my God, he's crazy. That's exactly what Anita said. Tomato is a fruit, okay? So when I make my tomato sauce cooks for 20 minutes maximum, okay? Because more you cook it, if you grab a fruit and you cook it for a long time, all the sugar come out and they caramelize. A tomato sauce is something that you really keep it as simple as possible. Olive oil, the option sometimes is garlic or onions, and sometimes you can put garlic and a little bit of onions. You cook them, tomato, and you cook them for 20 minutes and that's it.
And I've always been taught that you need to cook and let the tomato sauce simmer. And then I've actually had people that put sugar in it after. So it's kind of a double-edged sword that you're cooking it for so long. But why would people do that? Why would they, just because they would...
The problem, people put the sugar in it because now the tomato has got too much acidity.
Because it's been cooked for too long.
Cooked for too long. So now you put sugar, which is going to make it even more sweet.
Now, why would they think you have to cook it longer? Is there something?
No idea.
Really, okay.
No, I have no idea. That I really don't. So anyway, so my curry, my tomato are really cooking properly. Okay.
Got a question here. How about when you're cooking meatballs in a sauce?
What do you mean?
So if you're going to be cooking a meatball and you're actually going to cook it in the sauce.
Meatballs, so meatballs is ground meat. It's not going to take very long. Depends on the size of the meatballs, okay? First, you sear your meatballs on a pan, okay? And then what do? Then you're going to add the sauce. You don't put raw meat into a sauce. Never, okay? That really is not what I recommend.
Now, there's been other times where we've actually...
I'm going to put a little bit of liquid here. That's the liquid from the lentil, remember, guys, eh? So, and I am going to just let it cook. So, back to the question about the meatballs.
I know we've done it where we've done on the baking sheet too. We put cheese inside of the meatballs, and we've actually baked it on a sheet as well.
So, let me go through this quickly, so you guys are we are clear with that. If you make your meatballs, your favorite meatballs, I mean, like this, I mean, I don't not do like this. You marinate them, you make them, and you chill them in the fridge. The most important thing before you cook your meatballs, they need to be very, very cold. Then you get a saute pan, you add a little bit of oil, and you sear them on a pan, the same way you would sear a steak, the same way you would sear a piece of meat.
And then you put them in the tomato sauce.
And then you put them in the tomato sauce, and they're gonna cook in the tomato sauce for 10, 15 minutes maximum, okay? So they still got a bit of moisture, they still got a bit of flavor, they got a crunchiness around them because you sear them. I don't believe that a meatball should be raw right into a sauce, but that's my personal opinion, okay? What do I know?
We also have people asking oregano. You put oregano in your sauce as well, right?
This is optional. You know, if you go down in Sicily, for example, they use oregano everywhere. In my tomato sauce, it's a very simple one. It's garlic, and the garlic I don't chop it. And rarely you will ever see me chopping garlic. Okay, whatever I've done today, that's what I normally would do.
And you also never use the garlic press either.
I never use it. I don't know what garlic press is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the lentil. See, the lentil are cooked. Okay, I'm going to add them in. And remember the lentils, the important part about those lentils, the lentils are not cooked all the way through it. They still got a bit of a crunch. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to let them cover. Okay? And you know what? It's already looking exactly the way I want. I got all the texture necessary. And if I found that there is a little bit, so I'm going to add maybe a little bit more of my Thai curry paste. I'm going to let it cook. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid.
Someone just asked, do you have to do the same day? Are we back on tomato sauce here?
Tomato sauce or lentil?
We're making a lentil dish today, and I guess we've gone on to tomato sauce. But someone has asked here, do we have to do it the same day? So
the lentil or the tomato sauce?
So maybe answer for both. That way we cover all
Okay,
bases.
so I mean, listen. You know, the tomato sauce, you can make it right now for right now. So, I mean, if I make a spaghetti tomato sauce, I make it right away. And even at the restaurant, when we used to do at the restaurant, the tomato sauce was done to order. Good quality tomato, onions, garlic, you cook them quickly, and you toss your pasta. Okay? For the lentil, I mean, you can do this one easily. What I recommend to do a dish like this, I would make it first thing in the morning or whatever you want to do it. And then maybe eat it for dinner, okay? Or you can make it now and maybe in an hour, you know, you can eat it. Because what happened, all those flavors, they marry together, they kind of bond together, and they become wonderful, and they really match perfectly. The next day, it's just totally different. Because now what happened to all the vitamin, all this, the nutrients, have a chance to kind of sit down completely and then develop again after 24 hours. Okay, so that's, I don't know if I answered the question properly. You want to check it?
Yeah, well, I think that's that.
Okay, so anyway, so I'm cooking I'm adding the liquid. I add the curry. I had the tomato. I'm missing one more ingredient, which is the coconut milk. So right now, I have the coconut milk right here.
And I'm just going to tell people that the recipe is in the profile link. We've asked for you, if you wanted to cook with us, that you get the ingredients. Next week we'll be doing it again, so
yeah,
look out for the details there.
See, look at this. Oh my God. So I wish I can really quickly show you guys. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful soup. I don't know if you can see it. We're just going to let it cook for a little bit longer, okay? When it comes to a boil, now when the coconut has cooked, okay?
Well, we're not doing a soup, we're doing a lentil dish.
We're going to do a lentil dish, yes.
It's the sauce. It looks like a soup.
It looks like a...
And you could make it a soup by adding some more, right?
So I'm reducing the liquid right now. I want to check the seasoning. If the seasoning is up to standards, then I finish my dish. With what? With the remaining broccoli.
Bolo says thank you, so I guess you've answered his question.
Okay, good.
Her question.
Bolo?
B-O-L-O-S.
Wow. Excellent. Glad to could help. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add the remaining ingredients. So what I would have had here, I had the broccoli, I had the kale, I bring it together, and I make sure that it's seasoned properly. And then before I present it, before I finish, you know, in Italian we call it the mantecatura or the finishing. We're gonna add a little bit of the basmati rice, which is gonna absorb all those flavor from the curry, from the coconut. We're gonna finish cooking it. We're gonna drizzle with some olive oil, and we're gonna present it. Very simple. Any question? No?
No.
Wow.
Oh wait, why not the lid off if you want to reduce? Good
Because
question,
I want. Well, that's a great question.
That's what I would think as well.
Yes.
Being a home.
Yeah. But because I want to make sure that I trap those flavors inside, I don't want to evaporate too much. Okay. So I want to keep all those flavors in it. Okay. You can. There's not a big deal to taking it out. But you see, all this flavor that I'm smelling that is keeping what I want in it. Okay.
But you could do it both ways.
You can. Okay. So I just tasted, and we are 3/4 in. It still needs a little bit of salt, or maybe a little bit of pepper, but I'm not going to add it right now because I'm still going to have to finish with the kale, finish with the broccoli, add in the rice. At that point in time, I'm going to be able to adjust.
And I find you always say taste, 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 and you can
All of that.
always
Yeah.
You can always take away.
You can always add,
but you can't
take away. So, you know, people
don't oversalt, just do it in general.
always important whenever you do anything, you always add salt in stages.
Maggie said thank you.
Ooh. Oh, perfect. So it's always building by stages. You know, it's like you're building a house. You're doing the foundation, you check. Is the foundation perfect? Good. So now you build the next one. Same thing we are doing here. We are no rushing. I have my induction at a really low temperature here, but we're almost there. So it's coming right down exactly the way I want it. Okay?
So would you put that at low at the regular?
So now, I would do medium or medium-low on a gas stove, for example. On induction here at number 4, okay? So now we are there, and look what I'm doing. I'm going to add the remaining kale, just break it down in little pieces.
Food Lover said flavor some. You know what, food lovers, you should be on this side and take a whiff of this. Yeah. I can't wait to have it tonight.
Flavor some. What does he mean?
That he thinks it's very flavorful.
Yeah, well, you know.
To her, I'm not too sure. This is Food Lovers, so.
Okay, perfect.
We love cooking together, so this is a random one where we're not actually cooking together because I'm doing the tech side of things.
She's a techie today.
Rita Cugini, I really like the idea of adding salt later. Build it by stages, and that's what you always talk about.
I always tell people, said, you know what, you don't need to add all the salt at once. Things get too salty. I have a problem where people sometimes they don't even taste their food. Okay, and the way of the last, it's too late. Okay, you taste it as it goes. So right now,
Food Lover is a female. So.
Oh, beautiful Food Lover, excellent. So now we are at the end, okay? Remember what I told you is like when you're making a finishing product. So we have the basmati almost ready. And I have Anita, one of the ingredients she can't stand.
I could eat that whole thing right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so broccoli and the kale is almost done. I'm going to shut it off. Shut it off. I'm going to add my basmati rice, okay? Right in it like this. Very simple. See how simple it is? Everything in one pot. I'm going to mix the basmati rice in it. So what the basmati is going to do, this is going to become almost like a curry, okay? A curry lentil dish.
Why would you not put the basmati on a dish and then add that on top?
You can.
But this builds more of the flavor.
To me, it
right
builds
away.
a little bit more of the flavor.
So it's a preference, I guess.
Yeah. So you see what happened? Everything is absorbing beautifully, okay? So did you notice that I shut the heat as soon as I put the rice in? Why? I do not want the rice to overcook. What I want the flavor or the steam of the sauce getting into the rice and just let it cool down. So here we go. So this is my next stage here that I'm going to be doing. I want to make sure that I check my seasoning.
I hear it, or like a risotto. So I'm trying to think. So Jasmine, you could do a risotto too with this?
No. It's a long grain rice, this one. It's not perfect for the risotto. This is good for a pilaf rice. You can cook it in the oven. You can bake it in the oven, basmati, or you can boil it. Make a risotto, it's not quite.
And that's what we're going to be doing next week.
Next week, you're going to make a risotto.
And Dario has got a phenomenal risotto. I always look at you when you put in salt. It always looks like so much.
It's not.
But it's not.
Yeah. So I'm going to have...
I'm not used to much salt in my cooking, so...
Which is important. We always have to be careful, right? So the salt that I'm using is kosher salt. So you see what happened now? Everything has absorbed beautifully. Okay? Beautiful. Excellent. The next thing I'm going to be doing, okay, and watch. And this is one of the things that I always do. I'm a strong believer on that. And guys, you can do whatever you wish at home.
Mickey just said like the rice absorbing. It's like a risotto.
Yeah.
Risotto is different because you want.
Plus, you gotta toast it. Risotto.
Toast it to make it creamy, right?
Next week, if you jump on, we'll show you exactly. We're gonna do a full class on a risotto. So, for example, I was talking about the fresh herbs. I do not like to chop them with a knife. So wash them properly. I keep in a mason jar, wrap them in paper towel.
Hey, Tracy's on.
In one. Oh,
say
Tracy
hi to
Dick.
Tracy. Hello, Tracy.
Hello, Tracy. Tracy loves to cook, especially this stuff. Hey, Tracy, get Mike out so he can cook with you. So then I put the cilantro in it.
Tracy.
Okay, and I break it down with my hands. Why? The central oil on an herb like this one, you want to make sure they penetrate into your dish. As soon as you put a metal blade through a fine herbs, a delicate herbs like this, it loses all its flavor and it gets attracted to the metal of the blade of the knife, but not to what you want, to what you're looking for. Okay? We're going to finish with our olive oil. This is something for me that is very important. Anita knows how much I don't like olive oil.
I think that would be the staple. Mine would be cilantro, and yours would be olive oil.
That's right. And here we go. So here we go. So I want to show you now.
Rita says that she wants a risotto for next week, so that's great. She's going to be on next week because part of the cooking next week is going to be Dario's famous risotto. So.
It's risotto because it's something that I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing version for the summer and do version for the winter. This is a classical risotto from my own town, so I'm excited. Okay.
Tracy said she misses your cooking.
She misses my cooking.
I just told her to come visit.
Come visit, Tracy, anytime. So here we go. So you can see now that all the starches of the rice. So the rice worked almost like a sponge, absorb that curry, absorb everything. What I like to do here, I would like to cover it. I'm gonna taste it. Beautiful. And here's the trick. Cover it and let it sit probably for 4 to 5 minutes and then serve it. Or better, let it sit for long as possible and then you can reheat if you want just a little bit and serve it. Okay? Any question?
No, we've got That risotto was an art, and I mentioned, yeah, of course, Dario, you make the best risotto. I mean, you've taken me to some restaurants that I've never been exposed to before in my life, and you make the best risotto, I gotta say. And fungi is my favorite. Mushrooms are her favorite. So.
Well, we're not gonna make mushroom, but we might gonna be able just to throw some mushroom.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that next week. And we love hearing from you also. Just come up with some ideas if you want something, because we've made it many times with mushrooms before.
So we make it with mushroom, we made it with strawberry, we make it with lavender, we make it with asparagus, carrot. That's one of our thing. Then we have on our website is a carrot risotto, which is actually cooked just with carrot juice.
And we also do juice pairing, and that's my part of things.
Which is phenomenal.
I'm in the background now, but usually juicing is something that my mom has done, being Dutch, and every dinner we would have a juice. And so we actually come up with juice pairing with our meals. So you'll have a wine pairing, and you'll also have a juice pairing that's also available.
So look at this. So I have this beautiful...
You're welcome, Rita.
What is Rita saying?
She's saying, "Gran Dario, Anita, thank you for this."
So I got this beautiful dish. Oh my God, this smells so good. But you see, you got all the color of the kale, you got the color of the broccoli, you got absolutely everything. And this is vegetarian. For vegetarian, I mean, if we're vegan, obviously we're gonna have to meet some of the stuff, but I think it's pretty straightforward. Now for me, because I like a little spicy, I like to have the chilies on top of it. It's just me. I just like to have a little bit of
You're a spicy kind of guy.
I'm a spicy kind of guy. And then what I like to do is add a little bit of the coriander leaf just for garnish, because I know my beautiful lady likes coriander on her meal. So we put coriander in salad, we put coriander in juices, we put coriander, absolutely everything. And then to finish it, okay, olive oil is something that we're going to talk about in the future. It's something that is fresh and pure, but we have to be very careful how we use it. This is just the freshness part. So we're going to add a little bit of olive oil on top of it. And voila. Look at that. Guarda qua.
Can you show it to them a little bit closer?
Wow.
Oh, I'm making it fall. Sorry,
That's okay.
everyone.
It's okay.
This beautiful plating. And
So
we have a couple questions here. How do we sign up for the cooking class? So next Sunday, we're going to be doing another cooking class similar to this. It's going to be a bit more advanced. Oh, no, not while I'm talking. Usually he feeds me in the middle of me trying to. So next Sunday at 5 o'clock, it's going to be a Mother's Day special. So we're going to do risotto and a few other surprises. So you will see the link coming out, Follow Passion's Cooking, and you'll see that I will put out a recipe for some of the items. If you are a mother, it's a perfect opportunity for you to get your husband, your children cooking for you, whatever that is. Sit back with a glass of wine and watch, or go in another room for some time on your own. But it's going to be an interesting class. It's got a little bit more details than the lentil dish has here now.
And if you want, I recommend, if you want, we can actually do virtually the risotto. So if you go on the website and you look at the ingredients for the risotto, we can actually make risotto together.
Well, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the link.
That's right.
For the risotto and the other items that we're going to do. So if you get a chance to cook, if there's any substitutes that you want to say that you went to the grocery store and you were not able to find something, reach out to us, or the class.
Absolutely.
We can say what the substitute can do, and then you'll cook with us. So it will be either, for Mother's Day, it could be yourself if you want. Maybe that's your thing. Or if you want to be spoiled, have your husband or the kids or whatever
Vieni qua.
come and cook. Yes, I'm doing.
She's going to eat it. Otherwise, I can see whatever I want.
He's used to me being on the other side of his camera to feed.
It actually feels really uncomfortable.
And we also have, like I mentioned, we've got a link for basic cooking life skills. Here I am. Okay.
So now she's going to try it.
Oh, this looks like heaven.
So
there's not enough cilantro.
There we go. Is that enough? So, isn't it good? No. So it's, and this gets better and better and better. The other thing is great with this one.
What do you mean? The longer it sits, it gets better?
It gets better.
I've got to head back to the other side there.
So, for example, I mean, this is me going crazy, this one. You know what is good? It's good to make some scrambled eggs, a little bit of chilies, okay? And then at the last minute, add them to this dish. It's phenomenal, okay?
I think we have someone that knows you here. Luciano?
Oh, Luciano. Oh, yes. Luciano Chapano.
How did you guys meet? Rita Cucini's asking.
Oh, my God. No,
You were the cutest and amazing team. Do we want to get into this now, Rita? Really?
Well, that's that's a long
She
story.
I did say any questions.
Okay.
Well, we've known each other for many, many years.
20 years.
And we finally came to realize that we were more than just friends.
That takes that doesn't take cooking only.
And we unfortunately had bad relationships before.
And we learned.
And we learned from them to realize, and that's why we appreciate what we have every day. And we are so grateful.
The reason why we do what we do also is just to make sure that we share these simple things. Then sometimes
Tracy's going, I know.
Yeah, I was just about to jump in, Tracy. Tracy and Mike know me very well, know us very well. I think the most important thing here that we have to realize, guys, it's the simplicity on this situation that we are, unfortunately, nowadays, is to realize the simplicity of spending time together, having a glass of wine, cooking a meal together, sharing a simple recipe. Make sure that you're gonna get involved, even with your kids. Get them involved in making pizza, making even a risotto, making pasta. We do classes sometimes for people, and what they want actually their kids to really get involved. It's like playing Play-Doh. Okay, well, we take the Play-Doh, we take the chemical away, and we give them flour and water or flour and eggs, so you can play with it.
Rita says no substitutions, please.
No substitution. Huh?
Well, because she wants to have the right quality food. Rita is such a great foodie, and she really knows her stuff.
Rita, she's
like, don't. But of course, we give the true, real items. But for those people that are not able to get them, unfortunately, during these times, there's substitutions.
Well, and
I know what you're saying, Rita.
And and this is the thing: we want to make sure that we give you recipe, then you guys are able to do it at home. Food is not an intimidation factor. We want to keep it as simple as possible. We want to make sure that the healthiest part of your well-being is part of it. If you follow us, you understand that our brand is focused mainly on the Mediterranean lifestyle, no Mediterranean diet. I mean, Mediterranean diet is part of Mediterranean lifestyle, which is a big difference. Is the way you live, is the way you act on it, the way you resource your product. You walk to things. You don't take a car and just go on, or you go on a bicycle on a beautiful day like today. Understand the importance of being sustainable, be respectful. I mean, I was born in Canada, but I'm proud to be Canadian. Sorry, I was born in Italy, right? I was born in Italy.
You were. You're forgetting.
But I'm proud to be Canadian. And, the most amazing thing about this country is got great product. Then we want to explore and we want to share. You can actually cook some phenomenal Italian food, some phenomenal Indian food. Just be resourceful, okay? And really support our farmers, support the people around us. We really based our life on really being as sustainable as possible. And that's one of our messages that we want to share with you guys. And now next week we're gonna work with a risotto, and I mean we're doing risotto is something that there is a bit of an history about from the north to the south, the way you cook it, the way you toast it, what you had, what you're not.
Chef Rob Marotta.
Oh, Roberto.
Hey.
Yeah. Now.
Slow food, yay! He's talking slow food.
If anybody has a chance to go to Toronto, this is a plug I'm giving you, Roberto, please. You got to go to Ardo. We want to support our restaurants that are opening soon. We can wait. We pray for you guys. You guys are the rocks. Ardo restaurant in Toronto. Roberto Marotta. By far, one of my favorite restaurants, for sure.
And slow food, too. Slow food's really important.
Slow food is a big part of it. I mean, slow food is the way we should be living. It's funny because, and Luciano, I think if he's here and he's talking about slow food is a real living. It's not a fashion statement. And it's something that we believe in it strongly. And It's about conviviality. It's about clean food, pure food. Nothing that is, that broccoli that I got today was very simple. We use everything of it. We don't waste anything. We keep every single thing we do, and especially right now. So our message here today was a simple lentil dish. It could be a lentil soup. It could be anything you want to do. It's about being honest, be fair, sharing, and be responsible.
So we're going to do a quick cheers to everybody. For next Sunday, we're going to be doing another class for Mother's Day. Come on over if you're wanting to learn some basic skills in cutting.
Absolutely.
Cut like a knife, chef skills. And